Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to CVCA Hockey. My name is Tim Nichols. We are at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock from the Michael A. Ries Ice Rink in Parma, Ohio, for the third day of the Parma High School MLK Tournament. The game between Parma and Canfield on the other side of the bracket has just gone final. Final of 2-2, which means that the Parma Redmen will advance to the championship game of their own tournament later on this evening at 7 o'clock. The Redmen needed to tie or win. They got a late shorthanded goal in the final 2.5 minutes to secure the tie and their spot in the championship game tonight. Canfield, with a couple of wins and a tie, unfortunately for them, goes home back to Youngstown. Today, the Royals will match up against St. Edward, their green varsity team. St. Edward with 3 teams overall. Their gold varsity, the number 1 team at the school. The green varsity made up of all freshmen and sophomores, and an under 16 team. Again, we are near the top of the hour, just past it. The Zamboni is on the ice, clearing the ice after the completion of the previous game. We'll take a break, and you'll hear silence for the next few minutes, but we'll be back with you shortly. We expect this game to begin about 1:10 to 1:15 this afternoon between CVCA and the St. Edward Eagles green varsity team. And hello again, everyone. Welcome back. We are once again live from the Michael A. Ries Ice Rink in Parma, Ohio, and getting ready for the start of this afternoon's third day of the Parma MLK tournament. Today's game featuring the CVCA Royals and the St. Edward Eagles. The teams have just taken to the ice in this third day and third game for each of the two teams. My name is Tim Nichols. We're glad you've joined us this afternoon. Looking for a start of about 1:15 now, as the ice has just been cleaned from the prior game, which saw the Parma Redmen score a late goal with about 2.5 minutes remaining to punch their ticket to the championship game tonight. They tied the Canfield Cardinals. There were 3 goals scored in the last 5 minutes of that game, which had been a close game. Canfield needed to win. Parma needed a tie. They got the tie, and that puts them in the championship game tonight here at 7 o'clock. This afternoon, CVCA has been playing hockey for 22 years. St. Ed's hockey program is a state powerhouse with 3 separate teams and 11 state championships under their belt. And yet today, for the first time ever, CVCA and St. Edward will compete on the ice. It is the final game of the preliminary round of the Parma MLK tournament, and CVCA today will skate against the varsity green team from St. Ed's. The Eagles boast not 1, not 2, but 3 high school teams on the boys' side. The varsity gold team is actually the current unanimous #1 team in the state of Ohio. This team that you'll see today, the varsity green team, is made up entirely of talented, make that very talented, freshmen and sophomores. In addition, St. Ed's also fields an under-16 or U16 squad. In all, the Eagles had nearly 80 boys try out for a spot in one of the 3 teams, and the Royals will have their hands full this afternoon. When looking for comparables between these two programs, the Eagles green team and CVCA have 3 common opponents this season, all competing in this tournament this weekend. St. Ed's and Parma have met twice this season and split a pair of meetings. The Redmen defeated the Eagles 2-1 on December 26 with that victory over the green varsity team of St. Edward's. They met again, and St. Ed's was victorious on January 9th by a score of 5-2. On Friday night in this tournament, check that, on Saturday night in this tournament, 7 different Eagles scored en route to a 10-3 victory against Kent, the team that CVCA played to a tie yesterday. And yesterday, with the St. Ed's program playing in 4 different games with their 3 teams around the region, the green team dressed just 12 players here at the Parma MLK tournament. Those 12 ended up losing to Canfield 7-5. The Royals and the Cardinals from Canfield have yet to meet this season, but they will face off twice next weekend in a Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League home-and-home series, Saturday in Garfield Heights, home of the Royals, and on Sunday afternoon down in Youngstown. So, St. Ed's green team with a pair of decisions, a victory and a loss against Parma, who defeated the Royals on Saturday night here. And then a victory on this tournament against Kent and a loss against Canfield. And that leads us to the moment at hand. What's at stake today? There is that championship game tonight of the MLK tournament scheduled at 7 p.m. We know that the Parma Redmen will be on one side of the bracket. On the other side of the bracket is these St. Ed's Eagles, as well as CVCA and Kent Roosevelt. Earlier this morning, Kent Roosevelt had a resounding victory against Nordonia in their crossover game, and that gives them 7.5 points in this tournament. Coming into this game, St. Ed's has 6 points, 5 from the victory on Saturday against Kent, and then 1 from their decision yesterday against Canfield. In this tournament, they award a point for a victory in each period and 2 points for an overall game victory. So, St. Ed's did get a point against Canfield yesterday. That gives them 6. The Royals tied each of their periods yesterday against Kent, and the game ended in a tie. So the Royals have 2.5 points entering the contest. So both teams have an opportunity to advance today. For St. Edward, they just need 2 points. So they need to win 2 periods, and they will advance to the championship game tonight against Parma. The Royals need to win all 3 periods and need to win significantly. Their crossover game was against Parma on on Saturday night. The Royals losing by 6 in an 8-2 score. Conversely, Kent Roosevelt and their crossover game against Nordonia this morning, they won, I believe, 9-2. So the Royals need to win by at least 6, if not 7 goals, and then come up with some kind of goal differential magic to advance. So the likelihood of advancing is unlikely today for CVCA. On the other hand, the Eagles, they just need 2 points. So there it is, the tournament wrap up and what's at stake this afternoon. The Royals are playing their 4th game in 4 days this afternoon, and their 5th in 6 days, the end of a busy week. They've gone 1-2-1 since Wednesday when they defeated Twinsburg 10-2. A lopsided loss 11-1 on Friday was followed by that 8-2 setback against Parma on Saturday, but the Royals rebounded to tie Kent yesterday 3-3 behind a hat trick from Gabe Dearden and 22 saves from JT Nichols. Today, they'll have to lock down the defense. St. Ed's has had 8 different players score in this tournament this weekend alone. Seamus Kennedy has 3 goals and Ryan Schmidt also with 3. A trio of Eagles has 2 goals apiece. AJ Zopo scored twice on Friday night. Jeffrey Lapsevich lit the lamp twice as well and splits time between the varsity teams. And Riddick Bilbewica had 2 goals yesterday against Canfield. They've also had single tallies by Logan Klaber, Carson Albright, and Tommy Forch. So these Eagles can score and score abundantly. In goal, expect to see sophomore Bo Sasseville. The Eagles' green team is coached by Dan Humphrey. He's assisted by Craig Durdek and Tom Lewandowski. They also list Tim Sullivan, Jason Lewandowski, Kevin Madden, Dave Fassbender, Sam Pikus, and Jeff Marshall on a very long assistant coaching list. The Royals are coached by Doug Fairchild. Coach Fairchild in his 14th season on the CVCA bench. He is assisted by Mark Brower, Rich Hurdle, and Jonathan Beckett. The clock is wound down on the pregame warm-up time. We're about ready to get underway with hockey. Game 3, day 3 of the Parma MLK tournament from Ries Ice Rink in Parma, Ohio. So in an interesting development, the Royals were listed as the home team for this contest this afternoon. Obviously, it's a neutral game. The home bench is just to our right where we are broadcasting from, but it appears that St. Ed's will be in that bench. And so the Royals defending the goal to our far right at the far end of the ice during this first period and using the visiting bench here from Parma this afternoon. Before we get underway on Martin Luther King Day, we do want to mention that this Parma MLK tournament, which has been contested for many, many years, this year is being contested in memory of Marty Kazmarek. Marty Kazmarek, a longtime supporter and person involved in Parma Redmen hockey, passed away this past September, so they are honoring his memory today and this weekend in the tournament, and we want to make sure that we mention that today. But we're ready for hockey, getting ready to get underway. The puck is dropped and we're off to the races here. Right into the Royals zone and kicked away by Johnny Satanik, who gets the start today for the Eagles in goal. Satanik, a freshman, number 33. The team's battle for the puck. It's chipped up high and into the near boards in the corner. Luke Parada after it for CVCA. It's chipped up and out by the Eagles to the neutral ice area. Sam Porter trying to get after it, but he doesn't. Luke Parada does and dumps it back in deep for CVCA. Parada met by a trio of Eagles behind the goal. The Eagles come up with it, try to come out, and finally push it out to center ice and into the offensive zone they go. With some speed to the right side, shot on JT Nichols is pushed aside. He makes his first save of the day. Another one is in there, and a third one goes wide. So 2 shots on Nichols. Some heavy pressure by the Eagles as we get underway early on. Another shot from the slot. Saved by Nichols, and a rebound score by the Eagles. It's 1-0. A little difficult, as we have said all weekend, to see down on that end of the ice from where we are. We are right by the ice on the boards on the near side. Puck is dropped again. 1-0 the score just a minute into the contest. And now it's 2-0 as a second goal right away against Nichols. Fast and furious come the Eagles. And they've got a quick 2-0 lead just a minute and 7 seconds into the contest. Again, a little difficult to see down there. We believe the first goal may have gone to Riddick Balboa, and the second one perhaps to Ryan Schmidt. So the Royals down 2-0 early. And the Eagles with more pressure. Another save for Nichols. And the Royals build it out. Gabe Dearden, the captain for CVCA, pushes it far and deep. The teams will chase after it. First to it is Patrick Garvey for the Eagles. Garvey will push it on out, up ice through the neutral zone, and gains the zone. It's pushed into the far corner, centered, but controlled by CVCA. Out with it is Gabe Dearden. Dearden through the neutral zone and pushes it in deep for the Royals. The Royals will get a change. Chasing after it is A.J. Zoppo. Zoppo quickly out of the zone, met by Jack Lamline. Lamline pushes it in and gets it back into the offensive zone, dumps it in deep. The teams chase. Near side boards, Parada. Falls down. Gets hit by number 5, Seamus Kennedy. Kennedy dumps it around the other side of the board. Zach Nichols is there for the Royals. Nichols with a little bit of time, sets up, cross ice pass, and now dumps it in deep. Parada on the far side boards. Cycles it down low, but Seamus Kennedy's there for the Eagles. Up and out for St. Edward. Cross ice pass with speed chasing after it is Jeffrey Lapsevich. Shot on Nichols and a save. Or is it? Did they score again? And they have. It's 3-0. A rough start for CVCA. Two minutes and 35 seconds into the contest, the Royals down 3. Back underway again. Another shot is in on Nichols. This one is behind the goal. Near side boards. The pressure continues. It's up and out. Cleared for just a moment. Dumped back in by Zoppo. Back out to the neutral zone. Controlled by Caden Ballard for CVCA, but he's dispossessed. Cross ice it comes and out. Zoppo's on it. Zoppo dumps it up. Looking for a teammate. Can't find Jeffrey Lapsevich. The Royals will try and take possession and control. The teams battle on the near side boards in the defensive zone for CVCA. It's swooped around. Kept in and shot on Nichols. Stick save. Into the far corner. Chipped up and not out. Kept in and fired back. Knocked down before it gets to the goal and dumped out by the Royals. Satanic will play it. No icing on this play, so St. Edward will regroup. Morgan Joy gets a touch, but controlled now by Grant Petrosilli. Petrosilli cross ice. He finds number 19, Evan Hales, who puts it in deep behind the goal. Nichols plays it. Dearden after it for the Royals. Dearden on the far side boards. Tries to evade a couple of Edwards Eagles. St. Ed's Eagles cannot. Now with it, number 13, Bilboica. Into the corner it goes. The teams battle behind the CVCA goal. It comes out into the slot, and the Royals control for a moment. Up the ice comes the assistant captain for CVCA. Shot on goal by Luke Parada is wide. Matthew Porter tries to chase it, can't get it, but Parada gets it back. Parada has a little time, fires, deflected. Porter down low, can't get it. And St. Edward tries to come out with it once again. They do. Nice pass to the center ice zone, dumped in by Ryan Schmidt. On the near side boards, the Eagles with a 3-0 lead early, but the Royals coming back. Here comes Dearden. Dearden dispossessed at the blue line and dumped high toward the other end by Schmidt. Schmidt looking for 14, that's Tommy Forch. Into the offensive zone, Forch battles with a Royal, that's Zach Nichols. Into the corner, up and out of the zone, the Eagles will regroup. Cross ice pass, they find Thomas Marshall. Marshall pushes it up. And now back into the zone for a moment, controlled by the Royals. Dearden pushes it near side, finds a teammate. It's up and out, and icing is called. A stoppage ensues. 9 minutes, 49 seconds to go in the first period. St. Edward 3, CVCA nothing. The Eagles team, part of the powerhouse that is the St. Edward program, coming out firing on all cylinders to start this contest. As we expected they would. Face off to the left of Nichols, controlled by the Royals, pushed around the boards. Up and not out yet, but Morgan Joy chips it up. It's kept in by number 9, that's Marshall. Marshall dumps it in deep. Around the boards it goes to the near side. Up and out, controlled by number 12, Garvey. Garvey cross ice to a teammate. He finds Marshall over there. Marshall now back to the other side off the board and dumped in deep by the Eagles. Mark Mosher for CVCA pushes it near side boards. The teams battle for it behind the end line. Mosher again battling, pushes it up, turns it over, and the puck is fired into the breadbasket of JT Nichols, who makes the save. A stoppage at 9:07 to go in the first period. Eagles 3, Royals nothing. 3 quick goals on the Royals, and they'll defend a face-off to the right of Nichols. Controlled by the Eagles. Up to the high slot, 22 with it. Zopo fires, knocked down. The Royals try to come out with it. With some speed is Dearden into the offensive zone. Back check, but gets a shot off. It's deflected up and over the net of Satanic. The Royals will get an offensive zone face-off. Caden Ballard steps in for CVCA. They drop the puck down. It's one back to Dearden. Gets it over to Matthew Porter. He tries to dump it in further deep. Can't find a teammate. It's pushed out where Mark Mosher comes on it and pushes it back in deep for the Royals. The Eagles control. Around the boards it goes and out where Dearden waits for it. Waits and dumps it back in. The Royals get back on side. Collecting it is Zopo for the Eagles. Zopo begins to move out. Evades a couple of Royals and heads up with some speed through the neutral zone. Stops, fires from the left point, wide. Around the boards it goes to the near side boards. And a shot directly in on Nichols, right in front of the net. A battle ensues. It puffs out to the slot and is cleared by CVCA. Slowly the puck trickles across the end line. Icing is the call, a stoppage at 8 minutes and 3 seconds to go. First period action from the Ries ice rink. Eagles 3, Royals nothing. Face-off will occur to the left of Nichols this time. Fired off the face-off wide of the CVCA goaltender's goal. Far side boards, Dearden battles for the puck. It's controlled by the Eagles, however. Centering pass. It's dumped back into the corner. Still with possession is St. Ed's up to the left point. Shot is fanned on, but controlling it again is Zopo. Zopo fires a second time. It's knocked down in front. Still in the offensive zone for the Eagles. They dump it in deep once again and cycle back into the near corner. Try to get a centering pass. And finally, the Royals come out with it. Dearden into the offensive zone. Back check, knocked down, and controlling is Lapsevich. Lapsevich with some speed. Gets it up, cleared out. Jack Lamline dumps it in for the Royals. Lamline will chase. Gets possession for a moment, but battles. Tries to center. It's dumped out by the Eagles. Dearden waits, pushes it in deep as the teammate gets back on side. To the near side boards, it's controlled, naturally skated past and pushed up and out by the Eagles. To center ice, the Royals have it. They dump it in. Controlling is number 8. That's Redrup. His pass is deflected, and we almost just lost the camera. Nice evasive move right there by Sean Mosher. He saw his life flash before his eyes as the puck hit the back of the wall right behind us. We live to tell you that he'll be able to take this face-off with the camera intact. Controlled by CVCA. Shot on goal by Sam Porter is saved by Satanic. Far side boards. Royals trying to battle for it. It's now controlled by St. Ed's. Far side with it. Riddick Bilboica. Up ice he goes. We might just start calling him Riddick. Into the near corner it goes. And trickles up and poked out by the Royals. Down ice. Icing is called off. It was deflected off the stick of Matthew Porter. Royals get a change. Up ice it comes, controlled by Lamline. Lamline dumps it back in, and the Eagles will change as well. Thomas Marshall pushes it up, finds a teammate for a moment, but is knocked back into the Royal zone. Controlling is Ryan Schmidt. Around the boards it goes, finds a teammate on the far side. The Eagles getting pressure. Morgan Joy forechecking. Cross ice pass to Thomas Marshall. He gets it up out of the zone to center ice, finds a teammate. That's Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt into the circle. Backhanded shot on Nichols. Goes wide into the corner. Controlled by the Royals. Looks like that might be Dearden, and icing ensues. The Royals get a stoppage at 5:26 to go in the first period. Still a lot of pressure from St. Edward as we expected, but for the moment, things have settled down a little bit. Eagles 3, Royals nothing. Face off to the right of Nichols this time. Puck is dropped down, in the corner it goes. Lamline still doing a good job on face-offs this weekend. It's dumped up and out of play. And this time it looks like it went out of play off an Eagles stick, so they bring it out of the zone. Face-off on the dot, far side boards across from the Royals bench. It's one into the zone, shot on Nichols, a stick to side. Into the near side corner. Behind the net it goes. Ballard dumps it up. Not out. Controlled and dumped back in by Kenny Kuzinski. Back to the near side boards. And cleared out by CVCA. This one will not have enough momentum to be icing, so back on it quickly is Evan Hales. Hales around his own net, getting pressure by Sam Porter. Porter gets it for a moment. Nice job by Sam Porter in the corner, digging deep, but he's met by a trio of St. Edward Eagles who dump it up and out. They say it's deflected, so no icing, and Gabe Dearden will go back to retrieve it for CVCA behind his own goal line. Dearden has it in the near corner, pokes it up, but not out. It's now on the far side boards in the left point with it. Skating in is Emmett Schuler. Schuler now in deep, circles, getting pressure. Schuler still with it, centers. It's knocked aside, but just for a moment. And now it comes to the stick of one of the Royals, still loose, and up and out it goes. Quickly back in, though, come the Eagles. They dump it in deep off the stick of number 16, Carson Albright. It's up and out of play, a stoppage at 4 minutes and 1 second to go. 1 second, singular. 4:01, we'll call it, to go here in the first period with the Eagles leading the Royals 3-0. Face-off just in front of the Royals bench. One back to the Eagles and dumped in by Emmett Schuler. Zach Nichols chases after it for the Royals, pushes it up and just barely out of the zone. Cross ice pass by the Eagles and dumped back in by Schuler. Schuler gets it again as it's not out of the zone. Nichols has to make a save from the point. Rebound is left out there and finally kicked up and out by the Royals. Again, it will not have momentum to get to an icing, and so Schuler will retrieve it for the Eagles with 3.5 minutes to go in the first period. Schuler quickly up ice, finds a teammate. It's Pasha Manley. Manley off the boards, gets checked, and the Royals will push it back in deep on Satanic, who has to make a save. He's had not a lot of action so far. Satanic dumps it into the corner. Jack Lamline is there. Royals with very little control against these very talented Eagles so far in the first period. But here's a chance. Matthew Porter fires a slow shot, but Satanic has to make the save and cover with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Matthew Porter had enough time and opportunity to put a shot on young Johnny Satanic, the goaltender for the St. Edward Eagles today. So a face-off to Satanic's left. Caden Ballard will take it for the Royals. It's dropped down. The teams battle for it. Porter shoots. It's knocked down in front. Another shot by Porter, and this one Satanic has to cover, and one of the Royals just got leveled. That's Sam Porter, brother of Matthew Porter. And he is slow to get up, the assistant captain, 4-year player for CVCA. Shakes his head, and he'll stay on the ice. So another face-off to the right of Satanic. One back by CVCA to Dearden, who fires. Shot saved by Satanic into the far corner. Sam Porter battling for it. It's up, not out for the moment. Dearden tries to keep it in. He doesn't, but Ballard is able to keep it in, dumps it in deep. Satanic has to be careful. Off to the far side boards and finally cleared up and taken out by Seamus Kennedy. Kennedy with some speed into the offensive zone on his forehand. Fires. Nichols with a glove save. Juggles the puck and keeps the score at St. Edward 3. Royals nothing. Both teams with changes. It'll be an offensive zone face-off to the left of JT Nichols for the St. Edward Eagles. Controlled for a moment by the Royals, but then turned over. Shot on goal is stick saved by Nichols by Riddick Biliboica is, I believe, how you say that name. And apologies to his mom and dad. But he wins the faceoff. Behind the goal it goes, into the corner, and then swept back toward the goal. Gabe Dearden knocks it deep into the corner once again. Morgan Joy tries to give some pressure. It's up and kept in at the point just for a moment, and then knocked out. A chance perhaps for the Royals if they can get to it, but not quite. It's swept out by one of the Eagles out of harm's way, and back on it is Jack Lamline with 2 minutes to go here in the first period. From the right point, a shot is knocked down before it gets to JT Nichols, and the Royals come out with it. Dumping it in deep is Zach Nichols. Satanic plays it to a teammate. He finds AJ Zopo. Around the board, Zopo has it. Out of the zone it goes, but Lamline is there to push it back in. Minute and a half as we wind down. With some speed through the neutral zone is Zopo. He pushes it in to the corner, still with possession. Tries to center. It's chipped up and deflected across ice to the near side boards and pushed in deep where Zach Nichols is there for CVCA and battles Riddick Biliboica. Up to the left point. Controlling now is Zopo. Zopo fires in. It's deflected into the near side corner. Down to a minute 9. Lots of pressure coming for the Eagles. A save off of Nichols' pads. Into the slot it goes. Chipped up and finally out for safety for a moment. But back to the far side boards and in on it again is Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt has it deflected back out and then dumped right back in as we're down to 45 seconds. Delayed offsides. Gives the Royals a chance to catch their breath. Cross-ice pass looking for Lamline. Can't find him, but they wave off icing with 37 to go. First to it is the Eagles. Emmett Schuler up ice. Schuler cross-ice pass looking for a teammate. He finds 18, slides in. Shot is wide by Logan Klaber. Into the slot it goes and cleared out by the Royals. 20 seconds left. It comes down on Satanik. He waits, and just to the left of his goal, they wave off the icing, though. Schuler up, turned over. Chance for Caden Ballard, perhaps. Sam Porter tries to get a shot off, and it's deflected and swept down the ice. We're down to the final seconds of the period, and there is the horn. We've reached the end of period number 1, a period dominated on the scoreboard by the St. Edward Eagles, but the Royals found their footing after a challenging start. 3 quick goals in the first 4 or 5 minutes. The Royals played a bit better defensively in the latter 2/3 of that first period. The Eagles go to the locker room, though, with the lead 3-0 after 1, and that gives them 1 point toward their 2 that they need to secure their spot in the championship game tonight against the home team, the Parma Redmen. They put 15 shots on goal up on the board for the Eagles in the first period, and CVCA, they give credit for 6. According to our unofficial stats, the Royals actually did have an advantage in face-offs won, 7-6. 3 goals in that first period, right out of the gates. First goal unofficially to Riddick Biliboka for the Eagles. All 3 goals at the far end, so a little bit of a difficult view for us to see down at that end of the ice. We give Biliboka credit for the first one unofficially. The second goal, Ryan Schmidt, it looked like, was the Eagle that potted the puck in the back of the net. And the third one apparently goes to Seamus Kennedy. So, a fast-paced first period in the books.
That's Billy Boca. Used to play for Strongsville.
And we get a pronunciation on number 13, Billy Boca. Thanks to our cameraman and producer and all everything. Sean Mosher on that one says Billy Boca comes out of the Strongsville system, and that was the only name, as I looked to Sean Mosher, that as I surveyed the St. Edward's parents before the broadcast, they're like, yeah, we don't know that name either. So Billy Boca, the sophomore, and just a shout out to all of you St. Edward's parents. We know it's coronavirus time and it's tough to get together, but Billy Boca, I'm sure most of you knew that, and apologies again to Mom and Dad for mispronouncing his name during that first period. We'll get it right the rest of the game here today. Meanwhile, we've mentioned this weekend that the Royals are definitely in the midst of a tough stretch. If you've been following along this weekend, Friday night, the Chagrin Falls Tigers, behind the 9 seniors that they have on their roster, more than half their roster made up of senior players, took it to these Royals in an 11-1 contest. The Royals did their best, but that team from Chagrin Falls has got to be the favorite to potentially win the Barron Cup out of the Blue North Division this season. They are loaded, and it was evident on Friday night. The Royals did give them a game, which lasted until about 2 minutes were left, when finally, for the first time in almost 4 years, they were subject to the mercy rule in a regular season game. You find silver linings, and the silver linings are improvement in each of the games the rest of the weekend. On Saturday here against the Parma Redmen, the Royals suffered an 8-2 loss, but again gave the Redmen a game and improved yesterday when they faced up against the Kent Roosevelt Rough Riders. And throughout history, the Royals have been winless against Kent, never even getting a tie until yesterday. So for the first time in 13 meetings between the two teams that have called the Kent State University Ice Arena home over the years, the Royals and Rough Riders skated to a 3-3 tie. Hat trick on Sunday afternoon by Gabe Dearden for CVCA. Looking ahead This Thursday's game that's on the schedule against Brooklyn has been canceled. That game would have appeared to have been a little bit of a let-up in terms of the competition level. The Brooklyn team coming out of the Blue South Division. Unfortunately, the game time was scheduled for 8:45 at the start of the season. And if you know ice time, it's very heavily scheduled and hard to come up with. With the coronavirus pandemic and curfew in the state of Ohio at 10 o'clock, that game has been postponed because it would not be completed before the curfew would go into effect at 10 p.m. So CVCA and Brooklyn will not skate this Thursday night. That means the next games for the Royals will be against a very tough Canfield Cardinals team, a team that has shown lots of improvement over a year ago, where they went winless and just one tie in the white South Division, in which CVCA and Canfield played a year ago. Both teams dropping down to the blue North Division. And with a year of improvement and a slight drop in the level of competition, Canfield has been very strong this year. They would have been playing in the championship game here in this tournament tonight if not for a late goal by the Parma Redmen, shorthanded in the last 2 minutes, which pushed Parma forward into the championship game in the game that preceded this one. That game finished 2-2 in a tie. So the Royals face Canfield at home next Saturday. And then on Sunday, they make a return trip down to Youngstown. And they'll meet Canfield on their home ice. We are at intermission, first intermission in day 3. The score is the St. Edward Eagles green varsity team 3, the CVCA Royals nothing. Looking back and looking forward at this week in CVCA sports, we've told you that on Friday night the boys basketball team lost on the road at Northwest. Final score 54-51 to the Indians, and they are now off again until next week Friday when they have a game on the road at Manchester. Wrestling was in action on Saturday at the Boardman Duels. They fell short against North Canton 46-30. They next compete on Thursday at Stowe. Last week, girls basketball was in action on Wednesday at home against Manchester, and we've mentioned a couple times this weekend, big win for the Lady Royals, 90-35. Their record is now 11-3. They're back in action on Wednesday against Fairless at Tim Byerly Gymnasium on the campus of CVCA. 7 o'clock tip-off in that contest, and they look forward, not looking past, but looking forward to a rematch with Northwest at home next Saturday, looking to avenge their only Principals Athletic Conference loss of the season. They dropped a 56-54 contest to the Indians on December 19th. A note to you that all events that take place in Tim Byerly Gymnasium, that is boys and girls basketball and wrestling, are now available to you through a live stream on the NFHS network. You can find that at nfhsnetwork.com, or you can download the NFHS Network app. I believe that NFHS is the National Federation of High Schools, and they have made a streaming service available to many high schools around the country and throughout the state of Ohio. And so CVCA taking advantage of that on their home facilities in the Tim Byerly Gymnasium. Hockey broadcast can continue to come to you through the Boxcast app, and we are simulcasting today on the CVCA Boosters YouTube page, as we have been doing all season long. And so you can continue to find information about broadcasts of CVCA hockey by following at CVCA Livestream, and also information available to you on Twitter and Instagram through the CVCA Athletics pages on those platforms. And of course, you can always find information about all CVCA athletics at athletics.cvca.org on the internet, and also on the CVCA Athletics Facebook page. Once again, first intermission. The score is the St. Edward Eagles green varsity team, their lower level varsity team, 3, the CVCA Royals nothing. Recapping that first period, the Eagles came out fast and furious and got early goals. First one scored by number 13 Riddick Billy Boca, Billy Boca? There we go. I promise I will get it. Riddick Billy Boca. And the assist on that one now officially Danny Jopek and Jeffrey Lapsevich on the goal. That was scored 1 minute into the contest. It was 1-0. Shortly thereafter, less than a minute later, they got a second goal. This one from Ryan Schmidt. Tommy Forch and Billy Boca on the assist on that second goal. And then later on, about 5 minutes into the contest, they got a third one. The third goal of the day scored by Seamus Kennedy. The assist on that one to Jeffrey Lapsevich again and Danny Jopek. JT Nichols for the Royals made 12 saves in that first period, and Johnny Satanik for St. Edward made 6 saves. The Eagles have returned to the ice. We see the referees coming on the ice as well. We wait for the Royals to return. And we see the coaches coming out of the locker room. But we've yet to see the Royals emerge as we get ready for second period action. And here they come. And we mentioned it before the game, but the Royals are in the home locker room today, but having to make a longer walk to the visiting bench as the Eagles got on the ice first, and looks like they just chose to take that home bench. So, JT Nichols makes his way down to the goal directly in front of us. Weaving his way through the host of Eagles who skated just 12, or dressed just 12 yesterday. Looks like they have their full complement of players on the green team today. As too many to count with my naked eye, but a full squad of St. Edward Eagles green varsity players making the trip back here for the game against the Royals this afternoon. The Royals send out the same starters. So out there, Jack Lamline, Gabe Dearden, Mark Mosher, Sam Porter, and Luke Parada. Royals in all blue today. The blue shells, white piping, white numerals, blue royal blue helmets. The Eagles going right to left in green shells, green jerseys, the gold of St. Edward numerals and gold helmets. We're underway, second period action. And a quick shot wide of JT Nichols' goal gets his attention as the Eagles put the pressure on right out of the gate in the second period. Crossing ice pass, it looks like more of a shot, was wide. It comes back in on Nichols. He gets back in goal. Around to the near side board and chasing after it is Sam Porter. He chips it up and out into the St. Edward Eagles bench. A stoppage just a half a minute into the second period. And a face-off. They'll take it to outside the St. Edward zone, right in front of their bench on the near face-off dot. The Eagles 3, the Royals nothing. Face-off won by St. Edward, skating in and firing and scoring. Tommy Forch, right off the face-off, got the puck on his blade, skated in, and from the slot beat Nichols to put the Eagles up 4-0 just 35 seconds into the second period. So back to center ice. And they drop the puck down now. The Eagles 4, Royals nothing. This one is dumped in deep by Luke Parada for CVCA. Behind the net it goes, controlled by Evan Hales. Pushes it around and finds a teammate. And out come the Eagles. Through center ice with speed once again. Shot toward Nichols is wide. With it, number 10, a shot from point-blank range. That's Schmidt. He's pushed aside. Gabe Dearden tries to come up with the puck. It's pushed near side, kept in at the point. Skating in and knocked away by one of the Royals. Jack Lamline knocks it up and out for CVCA for a moment, but pushed directly back in on Nichols. and he makes a save between the pads. He gets pressure, and finally a late whistle. I'm not quite sure what the referee was waiting for there, but the whistle comes and the face-off will be to Nichols' left. An early goal, just like the first period, has the Eagles now up 4-0 in their quest for the championship game tonight. They need a point out of this period, and they will be through. Face-off won for a moment by the Royals and skated out by Sam Porter, but dumped right back in. And the chase is on. To it first is Josh Litton. Litton tries to center. It's knocked aside by Gabe Dearden. Up to the point and fired in. Deflected behind the goal. Dearden pushes it far side, tries to find Porter. He does, who knocks it up and then is knocked away as the puck goes down the ice. Icing is waved off. Back to get it is number 9, Thomas Marshall. Marshall pushes it up and out, finds Zach Nichols at center ice. Nichols dumps it back in, but right to one of the Eagles, and they come right back on the offensive charge. Dearden on it in the corner, dumps it up, but out. And Sam Porter chases after it. Chasing after it for the Eagles and getting to it first is A.J. Zopo. Delayed offsides against CVCA gives the Eagles a chance to come back with it. A great up-ice pass finds the stick of number 17, Lapsevich. Skates in fast and deep. Tries to get to it, but met by Dearden. Dearden skated off the puck. And now the Eagles back on it, centering opportunity. No, it comes to the right point. Fanning on it there, and back checking is Parada. But the Eagles still with it, skating into the circle. Shot, kicked wide, rebound through the slot, the crease. Still battling for it right in the corner of the goal. And the goal finally comes off its moorings as Nichols was looking for it to his left. The puck was actually behind him on his right, and both teams had players trying to slap at it to get it either in the goal or out of harm's way. Gabe Dearden was there for CVCA, and the goal came off its moorings. So the Royals dodge danger for a moment there, and they'll get a face-off to the right of Nichols. One back by CVCA to Zach Nichols. Around the boards it goes, but not out. It comes back in, wide of Nichols, near side boards. Chasing after it is Seamus Kennedy for the Eagles. Kennedy has help. Luke Parada, Jack Parada's younger brother. Jack, the captain of CVCA from last year. Luke Parada, the assistant captain this year after it. But the Royals, JT Nichols makes another glove save as the pressure coming in intense waves once again by these young and extremely talented Eagles. Face off to the left of Nichols. 11:49 to go. Second period. 4-0. St. Ed's. Sam Porter skates on. Takes his spot. And they drop the puck down. Far side. Controlled by Lapsevich. Round the boards it goes. Behind the net. Dug out by the Eagles. Cycled back in by Jopek. He tries to find Seamus Kennedy, but Dearden is on it. Dearden skates out of the zone. Evades through the neutral zone. Dumps it in deep into the corner. Satanic stops it behind his goal. Finds a teammate, and the Eagles will build out with it once again. Off the boards, it comes to Dearden. He sweeps it to the far side, but the Eagles are on it with speed. Shot wide of Nichols. Around the boards it goes to the point. Dearden clears it out. Delayed offsides. Not sure why they didn't blow the whistle, but they are now onside, are the Eagles. Lamline stops it, and he finds Dearden. Dearden had it on his stick for a moment, would have had an opportunity for a breakaway, but it got past him. He centers, looking for Matthew Porter. Can't find him, and the Eagles clear the zone. Mark Mosher cross ice, but intercepted. Eagles with it once again. Shot in and deflected near side by Mosher, who clears it up. He finds Dearden. Dearden skates through the defensive zone, back checked, and loses possession to number 6. That's Grant Petroselli. Petroselli skates in and fires near side, misses the goal. Around the boards it goes to the far side. The Eagles are on it again. Petroselli fires. Nichols makes the stop, rebound. Swept behind the goal. In on it with speed is Emmett Schuler. And finally the Royals come up with it, and Gabe Dearden takes a deep breath and ices it down the ice for a stoppage in play at 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Dearden skates off and has earned a short break on the bench. 10:06 to go, second period. Face off to the right of JT Nichols. 4-0. St. Ed's leads this one. Jack Lamline wins another for the Royals. It's knocked up and not kept in at the point by Emmett Schuler. And they call icing. Emmett Schuler was right there. And now the referees will have a conversation. And the referee directly in front of us with the puck will keep it and says it was icing. So Lamline wins another. Mosher goes the other direction this side. Up and kept in at the point, but not for long. Morgan Joy dispossesses. Cross ice pass to Sam Porter. Porter is met by one of the Eagles who dumps it out and back into the defensive zone. Caden Ballard gets it on his stick and dumps it out for a moment. The teams battle. Mosher can't keep it in, can't keep it out. The Eagles come in with it. They skate in, cross ice, and poked aside by Morgan Joy, I believe. Back in behind the net. In on it is Evan Hales. Now behind the net with it is Billy Boca. And a stoppage ensues. Another face-off directly in front of our vantage point. 9:21 to go. Royals making a change. And Dearden, the last one out after his short break. About a minute of time on the clock. Won by the Royals is the face-off and punched down the ice. Skating after it is Thomas Marshall. Marshall around the boards. Finds a teammate, but Jack Lamline keeps it in for CVCA. Into the corner, Matthew Porter tries to battle. Cannot come up with it. It comes back to center ice where Dearden gets tripped. No call. CVCA dumps it in deep. Lamline picks up a stick. Around the boards it comes. Dearden dumps it in, delayed offsides for a moment. And a hand up. Could be a penalty coming. It is. Delayed penalty on CVCA coming up. Off goes Satanic. The extra skater is on for St. Ed's. Into the offensive zone they come. Billy Boca has it. He finds a player at the slot. Shot. Saved by Nichols into the corner. And the touch up by Dearden. And an interference call is coming on CVCA. And they're going to get Matthew Porter for the Royals. And for the first time today, a power play opportunity for either team. It will go to the Eagles. Time of the penalty, 6 minutes and 42 seconds of the second period. Porter goes in the box for 2 minutes for interference. And the Eagles on the power play, up 4-0, looking for more. They blow the whistle and drop the puck. It's one back into the corner. Dearden tries to dig it out but can't. And a cross-ice pass. Danny Jopek was trying to find the back door. Couldn't get a stick on it, but they control. Do the Eagles. Centering pass. Shot saved by Nichols. And a second shot by number 5 after the whistle blows, and the Royals getting beat 4-0 on the scoreboard. Not going to let their goalie take second shots, this case from Seamus Kennedy, Gabe Dearden, and Luke Parada. Know that the Royals may be outmatched in talent today, but they're not outmatched in effort or intensity, and they will not let their senior goaltender take extra shots like that. Face-off is down once again, controlled by the Eagles. Near side boards with it is Lapsevich. Lapsevich evades one of the Royals. Shot saved by Nichols and cleared out by Sam Porter. All the way down the ice, Satanic chips it to the near side. Landline is the first one to it, though, for CVCA for just a moment. But he's dispossessed, and the Eagles try and push back up through the neutral zone. But Landline won't give up the battle. The teams battle for it on the near side boards. And finally, St. Edwards digs it out. Nice play by Luke Parada, though. Parada clears the zone for CVCA. Luke Parada digging deep, and the retreat has to happen to the defensive zone before the Eagles can come up ice once again. They do. Into the offensive zone now. Jopek has it with some speed. Circles at the corner. Looks up. Finds a teammate at the point. Shot. And it's knocked down before it gets to the goal. Another shot comes flying through to the near side. Missing the goal once again. About 40 seconds to go in the power play. This one is chipped in, knocked aside before it gets to the goal. Controlled again by the Eagles. Into the high slot. Now down to the circle. Zopo stick handling. Zopo behind the goal. Looking. About 15 seconds left on the power play time. Up to the slot now. Shot. Fired. Ricochet. Nice save by Nichols. And a rebound is pushed in. JT Nichols made the first one, but could not make the second save. A goal scored on the power play with just 9 seconds left on the penalty to Matthew Porter. Makes it 5-0. You see you got it? It looks like number 11 on the goal, Danny Jopek, on the rebound off the initial shot and saved by JT Nichols. So 5-0 time of the goal at 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Face-off is won by St. Ed's again. Nice back check by Gabe Dearden, but the Eagles control. With it in the corner is Emmett Schuler. Now up to CVCA's Morgan Joy, knocks it up but kept in by the Eagles. They come back with more pressure. Skating in and shot deflected. That shot off the stick of Riddick Billy Boca. Into the corner. Caden Ballard tries to come up with it, cannot. A shot from behind the net finds the iron. Knocked up and out. Morgan Joy chasing after it for CVCA. Into the far corner it goes. 5:40 to go here in the second period. 5-0 the score. A big collision. But shipped up and out, and here come the Eagles once again. Into the offensive zone. Shot knocked down. Second shot saved by Nichols off the blade of Tommy Forch. And we've got a huge set of action going on in front of JT Nichols' net between Gabe Dearden and Riddick Billy Boca. And it looks like they're both going to go. They do. Time of the penalties, 9 minutes, 39 seconds. We're going to assume that's 2 minutes for roughing for Dearden and Billy Boca. As that scrum ensued right in front of the net. So again, the Royals may be out-talented today, but not going to be out-muscled, at least not if Gabe Dearden has something to say about it. Offsetting penalties, so we'll play 5-on-5. Face-off is won by the Eagles once again, and they dump it in deep. Mark Mosher is on it, chips it up, but not out, kept in at the point. That shot is fired and scored. JT Nichols did not see it. The Eagles kept it in at the point, and skating in on it and shooting on Nichols was Patrick Garvey. He beat Nichols 5-hole, and the score is now St. Ed's 6, CVCA nothing. At a 6-0 score with a 6-goal differential, the clock will run, as is the rule in Ohio high school hockey. So it runs now and drops under 5 minutes to go here in the second period. St. Ed's comfortably ahead, 6-0 and 3-0 in this period. The shot is in on Nichols once again, and he puts the glove on it to stop it. So as we were saying, comfortably ahead 6-0 and 3-0 in this period. They will secure, in all likelihood, their second point, which is what they need to guarantee they'll be playing in the championship game tonight against the Parma Redmen. Off the face-off, won by the Royals. Jack Lamline with a rush, a rare rush this period. Lamline shoots, and a stick goes flying. In fact, the Royals still looking for their first shot on goal of the second period, a period end game controlled completely by St. Ed's. Mark Mosher, nice job in the neutral zone to protect what could have been a breakaway opportunity, getting a stick in there and then shooting it down the ice. He gives up an icing. They'll trade at this point time for real estate on the ice as they bring the puck down to the left of JT Nichols. Royals trailing this one 6-0. Face off to the left of Nichols. They drop the puck down, and the Royals come out with it. Zach Nichols through the center ice neutral zone area. Into the offense. Fires. It's knocked wide. And back the other way comes St. Ed's for a moment. Mark Mosher intercepts, dumps it back in. It ricochets across the ice and controlled by Jack Redrup. And back come the Eagles. Into the offensive zone. Firing. Stick save by JT Nichols again. Kept in and dumped deep. It goes without saying that we're looking at the team or the players as that shot is knocked down and another shot is saved by Nichols. Another stick poked in there by number 3, Josh Litton, and the Royals not taking kindly to the fact that the Eagles continue to poke at Nichols after the whistle blows. But as we're saying, we're looking at players that are probably going to move up over the course of the next year to the St. Edward's Gold varsity team, the team that is currently the number 1 team in the state of Ohio. So the Royals getting a test today that we knew they would. Gabe Dearden now out of the box and having a conversation with the referee, the senior captain for CVCA. They drop the puck down. It's into the slot. Dearden controls and skates out with it. Dearden through center ice into the offensive zone, fires, and Satanic makes his first save of the period. Kicks it into the near corner. The freshman goaltender for the Eagles, not very busy this afternoon. As the Eagles rush up again on 1:45 to go. Into the offensive zone with speed. Poke checked away, but now it comes to number 18. He controls and fires, and Nichols makes another save. Logan Klaber, the author of that shot on JT Nichols. Changes for both teams once again. Face-off will be to the left of Nichols this time around. One back to the Eagles. Right point, swept in. Nichols makes another save. It trickles out and controlled by the Eagles. Jack Lamline goes after the loose puck. And now swept in and away by Sam Porter. Gets it to Lamline, who has some speed into the offensive zone. Fires and just misses wide left of Satanic. Dumped back in deep, where the Eagles will come on it. 44 seconds to go here in the second period. Around the boards near side it comes. And cross ice looking for an opportunity. Shot on Nichols, stick save. Near side boards it comes. Another shot knocked down. Cross ice it goes, controlled by number 13, Billy Boca. Billy Boca is dumped, but pushed back in deep by Evan Hales behind the net. Mosher battles for it, but in on it is Tommy Forch. And the Eagles dig it out once again. 10 seconds to go. Backhanded shot. They try to find a back door for Forch. Can't. 6 seconds left. Fires on Nichols. Another save. It drops down. And the whistle blows and the horn goes. And that's it for the second period. Another 3 goals by the St. Edward Eagles. The Royals with one shot, I believe, in that period.
18-1.
Unofficially, we've got the shots on goal in that second period, 18 for St. Edward and just 1 for the Royals. The ice definitely tilted toward the St. Edward offensive zone in that period and throughout the game. As we go to the break, the second intermission, St. Edward with the lead by a score of 6-0. As we do go to the break, we want to remind you that if you're following along and you're liking what you see, maybe not on the scoreboard today, but from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, and you have interest in the school, we want to let you know that there are a couple of events that may be of interest to you in the coming weeks, specifically the winter open houses that are coming up. The first one takes place on Thursday, January 28th, and there will be 2 opportunities to visit CVCA on campus on that day. The first one at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it will run for 1 hour till 5 o'clock, and then they'll clean things up and make sure that everything is ready from a COVID-19 coronavirus standpoint. Sanitizing things down for a second session that'll occur at 6 o'clock from 6 to 7. And then if you can't make it on Thursday, January 28th, you'll have a second opportunity at those same times on Tuesday, February 2nd. A second winter open house on the campus of Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy in Cuyahoga Falls on Wyoga Lake Road. To ensure your spot at one of those winter open houses, we encourage you to go online at www.cvcaroyals.org, and you must register for attendance at one of those open houses so that the powers that be know that you are coming and they can be ready for you. But a couple of opportunities to learn more in person from the staff of Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. And additionally, we want to mention that there are a couple of entrance exam times scheduled in the coming weeks. The first one is scheduled for February 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon at CVCA. The second one 1 month later, March the 1st at 8:30 a.m., 8:30 in the morning at Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. So for more information on CVCA, on the winter open houses, on the entrance exams, or anything else to do with CVCA, you can always visit the website at cvcaroyals.org. We are at the second intermission, and during the intermission period, they did put up a pair of 2-minute penalties for St. Edward at the end of that period. So not quite sure if that's a scoreboard operator just trying to practice with the penalty time, because they did not put up the prior penalties that occurred to Gabe Dearden and Riddick Billy Boca. We'll have to wait and see if there are actually penalties that were called right at the end of the second period or not. We'll let you know as they come out for third period action. But we are at that second intermission time. Again, in the second period, 3 more goals scored by St. Edward. The first one, just 25 seconds into the second period, scored by number 13. That was Riddick Billy Boca. His second, scored by number 14, Tommy Forch, his first of the day. The assist went to Billy Boca and also to Ryan Schmidt. The second goal of the period, scored by Danny Jopek, also his first of the day. The assist to Jeffrey Lapsevich. And the third goal, unassisted, scored by number 12, Patrick Garvey. 6 different St. Edward Eagles have scored goals today. Coming into the contest, 8 different Eagles had scored in their first 2 games. So as we mentioned before the game started, the offensive firepower coming from all directions in this contest from St. Edward. We are not surprised by that. We are looking toward third period action, where unless the Royals can muster a goal, the clock will be running for the duration of the third period. With their 6-0 lead and their 3-0 margin in that second period, the Eagles should unofficially have clinched their spot in tonight's championship game against the Parma Redmen. So, more to come. But for now, we're going to take a break. I'm going to get a drink of water, and we hope you'll stick around and rejoin us for the start of third period action in just a few moments. Well, welcome back. Tim Nichols with you. We're getting ready for third period action from the Michael A. Ries Ice Rink in Parma, Ohio. The final period of the preliminary round of the Parma MLK tournament in 2021. The St. Edward Eagles have come back out onto the ice, and we can see the Royals come out of their locker room. They're about ready to enter the ice themselves. First out is Karsten Hauk for CVCA, and he's followed by senior goaltender JT Nichols. We have a clarification. They were just working on the scoreboard, trying to get the penalties to work. There were no penalties called at the end of that second period. So it'll be 5-on-5 when we start the third period in a few moments. They have updated the shots on goal officially through 2 periods. 39 shots on goal for St. Edward, just 9 for CVCA through 2 periods. Once again, following this day and this contest, the Royals will have a short break, being Monday afternoon already. And they'll resume play this coming weekend with a home-and-home series against the Canfield Cardinals. First hockey game on Saturday afternoon in Garfield Heights, the 2020-2021 home of the CVCA Royals. And the second game to take place on Sunday afternoon down in Youngstown, home of Canfield. Royals skating from right to left in this third period. Eagles going from left to right. 15 minutes is up on the clock. The whistle blows, and we're ready for third period action. Face-off is dropped down and controlled by CVCA's Jack Lamline, who punches it in deep. But right after it are a pair of St. Edward Eagles. Oh, and Morgan Joy just gets absolutely dumped off the puck in the corner by Seamus Kennedy. He should be proud of that one. Absolutely leveling CVCA's freshman, Morgan Joy. She gets up and skates away, though. Was it Chloe? It was Chloe Polanski, actually, who gets a third period start. So the Royals extending their bench, and they get a shot in on Kennedy, on Satanic early on. Down 6-0. The Eagles control for a moment. Gabe Dearden tries to battle the puck out of the zone. Cannot. It's fired back in and knocked down. A second shot perhaps coming up, backhanded, and wide of the net. It goes off the stick of A.J. Zoppo. And out of play the puck goes. So as we mentioned before, the Royals down 6-0 with a running clock, as is perhaps the custom of head coach Doug Fairchild to get some of his younger skaters some time. He got Chloe Polanski out there, and she paid for it very quickly, but got right back up and skated away. Meanwhile, back underway. The Royals dump the puck, and they wave off the icing down into the defensive zone, and the offensive zone. Sam Porter's there first. And Jack Lamline looks like he's upended. Meanwhile, it's kept in for a moment at the corner. Fired in deep by Zach Nichols from the point. Around the boards it goes. Sam Porter dumps it back in. The Royals will chase after it, as does number 19, Evan Hales. He gets help, but Porter comes up with it, centers it. Backhanded shot attempt by Porter. Cannot control, pirouettes, and is dispossessed. Up ice goes Pasha Manley. Into the near corner. Wholesale changes happening for the Eagles as the Royals come out and push up ice with it. And another change for CVCA. We may have mentioned a save for JT Nichols, but in goal now for the Royals is Karsten Hauk. Hauk, the first-year player, getting a third-period opportunity to play here in the Parma MLK tournament. JT Nichols already with 3 2/3 games to his credit this weekend, so Hauk getting some duty this afternoon in the third game and the third period. Meanwhile, the puck is controlled into the offensive zone, and a shot is in on Hauk. He makes the stop, his first of the afternoon, perhaps. A stoppage ensues. We're under 12 minutes to go here in the third period. Defensive zone face-off for the Royals to the right of Karsten Hauk. Hauk, a sophomore. We've chronicled his hockey career this year, which is in its first year. Hauk's got a couple of wins under his belt against some of the lower competition in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. The Eagles shoot another puck in. It's knocked down before it gets to the goal. Cross-ice pass up and not kept in. They dump it back in and skate to get back on side. It gives the Royals a chance to control it. Cross-ice pass looking for Caden Ballard. It's pushed back in. Zach Nichols is on it for CVCA. Sends it across the ice, turns it over, and it's knocked away before it gets to Hauk. A dangerous play by Nichols. The Royals try to retrieve it, and they do, as the Eagles are off sides. Nichols, a nice play. Gets it in deep. Controlled now by number 14, Forch. Forch up the ice to a teammate, Logan Klaber. And now with it, number 3, Josh Litton. Litton dumps it into the far corner, and it's pushed around the boards into the near side. A couple of players skate after it, out of our vantage point again on the far side of the ice again as we battled that far corner all weekend long. This is kept in, controlled by Litton, and now deflected out and down the ice by CVCA. Satanic corrals it for his teammate, AJ Zopo, who's back out. Zopo, who starts the rush up the ice, pass off the boards, long pass into the corner. Zach Nichols chases for CVCA. He battles on the boards, gets help from Jack Lamline. Now it trickles into the far, or the near corner rather, and pushed down the ice by the Royals once again. They wave off icing. 9.5 minutes, as winds down to near that time, 9:35 actually to go. Here in the third period, the Eagles lead it 6-0. Gabe Dearden now through center ice. Dearden into the offensive zone, fires wide of Satanic. It bounces, shot back toward the goal and swept away. A nice play by number 22, AJ Zopo, clearing the puck out of the danger. One of the few times today that Johnny Satanic has been in a precarious position. The Royals head up the ice once again. This time Lamline tries to get through but cannot. He's bumped off the puck, and the Eagles control it once again. Up ice it goes. Danny Jopek on the rush. Jopek across the blue line into the left circle. Taken down and slams into the boards. We get a whistle. Jopek back to his knees. And at the stoppage, another wholesale line change for the St. Edward Eagles. And a penalty goes up on the boards on Jack Lamline on that last play on Jopek. So Lamline's in the box for 2 minutes. The Eagles on the power play. And quickly the Royals clear the puck down the ice. So approximately a minute and a half to go on that power play. They are not putting the penalty time on the boards during the game, so we're just working on the old-fashioned way, trying to figure out exactly when it was. Meanwhile, up ice it goes, and offsides are the Eagles. An advantage for CVCA with the clock running and Lamline's penalty time running as well. Face-off will be on the near side, just outside the Eagles' offensive zone, at the face-off dot in front of the Royals bench. It's pushed ahead by Caden Ballard for CVCA for just a moment, and back up come the Eagles, but it's cleared down the ice by the Royals on Satanic, and the Eagles will set it up once again. Through the neutral zone, controlled by Mark Mosher. Mosher cross ice, finds Dearden, and Dearden sweeps it through center ice, finds Ballard. Ballard into the offensive zone, and on Satanic, who clears it to his left. It does bear mentioning that yesterday against Canfield, these Eagles, who dressed only 12 yesterday, not the full squad, did give up 3 shorthanded goals. Right now they control to the left point. Back in deep. Schuler passes. It skates across in front of Hauk and now behind him. Poked into the far corner. Up and out. Ballard clears for CVCA. And with it with some speed now is Tommy Forch. Into the offensive zone. Forch fires wide of the goal. More substitutes flying onto the ice for the Eagles as they shoot one in. Hauk jumps on it and makes the save. A nice save for the sophomore goaltender from CVCA. The sophomore goaltender who is much improved from his first time on the ice back in November. A great story. A great teammate is Karsten Hauk. Soaking up that goaltender responsibility learning curve like a sponge. Face-off is dropped down. They battle in the corner. And the penalty time is up. Lamline back out there for the Royals. We're down to 5.5 minutes to go with the running clock in the third period. Still controlled by the Eagles. From the slot, a shot is kicked aside as it doesn't get to Hauk off the stick of Danny Jopek. Now a shot coming from the right point. Another save by Hauk. And you hear the cheering from the Royals bench for their goaltender. Nice job by Hauk to face 3 straight shots there. This time the face-off will be to his left. Controlled by the Eagles. Cross-ice pass. Shot in. And kicked aside and out of play. That shot from Emmett Schuler. And they take the face-off out of the zone, saying it was not deflected by one of the CVCA Royals, and therefore the neutral zone face-off ensues. But it's controlled by the Eagles. They dump it in for a moment. Knocked back out. And the two teams back and forth they go. Now the Royals with a chance. Zach Nichols skates in. Nichols onto his forehand, fires, and saved by Satanic. Nice job by Zach Nichols to get an offensive zone opportunity for CVCA. Face-off is dropped down and controlled by St. Ed's. Skating up with it, number 19 with speed, Evan Hales. Hales into the offensive zone, fires, and he scores. Evan Hales, the goal for the Eagles. A huge roar from the St. Ed's bench. And they extend the lead now to 7-0. Face-off will ensue from center ice. They drop it down. Caden Ballard battles for it. And it's won by the Royals into the offensive zone, but possession not controlled. Back up come the Eagles. Number 18, Logan Klaber, is met by one of the Royals who push it back in, and it's corralled by Jack Redrup. Redrup finds a teammate but turns it over. Royals can't do anything with it, though. Cross ice it goes, and back to get it. Chipping it forward, looked like it was Nichols to Ballard. Fired back into the far corner by Zopo. It finds its way to Karsten Hauk, who covers it for a stoppage at 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the contest. St. Ed 7, the Royals nothing. A tough afternoon on the scoreboard for CVCA, and yet, I think when they look at it, knowing the level of competition they were up against today, it might feel slightly better tomorrow. Certainly doesn't feel very good right now, down 7-0. We're under 2 minutes, 1:45 to go. The captain for CVCA, Gabe Dearden, skates in. Dearden, short, sharp angle shot, tries to beat Satanic, can't, it doesn't make the net. Royals try to keep it in, but cannot. It's chipped back out, and Jack Lamline chases after it for the Royals with 1.5 minutes to go. Lamline dumps it back to Dearden in the near corner. He's met by a host of competition, and it comes back toward the front of the net and is in the back of the net. As the Eagles add another one, it's 8-0. The Royals had 22. AJ Zopo gets another goal as that puck went into the area that we cannot see in the near corner. The next thing you knew, it was centered, and Zopo jumped on it right on the crease and put it by Hauk for the 8th goal today for the Eagles. Face-off is dropped down with 40 seconds to go, and Hauk jumps on it for another save for CVCA. So they'll have one more face-off perhaps to Hauk's left. 25 seconds left in the contest. Puck is dropped down into the corner, the blind corner we'll call it, that goes, and now back to the other side. Controlled by the Eagles. Shot back in behind the net. 6 seconds to go. A stoppage as it's out of play, and that should do it for the contest. It does. The final horn sounds, and this one is in the history books. The first ever meeting between St. Edward and CVCA goes to the Eagles green varsity team by a score of Eagles 8 and Royals 0. The Royals goaltenders faced a barrage today of St. Edward shots. The teams salute each other, and Johnny Satanic gets the shutout in goal for the Eagles. So CVCA's 2021 visit to the Parma MLK tournament is complete. They finish no wins, 2 losses, and a tie. Their first ever tie against the Kent Roosevelt Rough Riders. So all is not lost. They take away something in this tournament. They get experience, and they get a first ever result, albeit not a victory, against Kent, a team that has tormented them over the years. They'll get back on the ice in practice this week and get ready for Canfield next weekend. But for now, once again, the final score today, 8-0, third period goals scored by Evan Hales and AJ Zopo for the St. Edward Eagles. The Royals, no goals today. A whole host of saves for JT Nichols and Karsten Hauk. That'll do it for our coverage here from the Michael A. Ries Ice Rink. On behalf of CVCA, I'm Tim Nichols. Behind the camera and doing the production is Sean Mosher. And thanks today to Jeff Porter for doing the statistics by my side this afternoon. We'll talk to you next week from the Garfield Ice Rink on Saturday afternoon. Stay tuned to CVCA Livestream. That's at CVCA Livestream on Twitter for more information. And always, of course, follow the CVCA Athletics websites, Twitter accounts, and Instagram accounts for information on all CVCA athletics. For now, we bid you adieu. Have a great rest of the day. A good